Hello, welcome you. Myself MP Misra, Faculty School of Computer and Information Sciences, IGNOU. In this session, I am with you on a topic related to managing the data which is generated while we are using applications or different kind of application software. The topic is Introduction to Database Management System. Whenever we use any application, we play with a lot of data associated with that, be it a simple application of registration on certain events or doing online shopping, or for that matter registration in this specific course itself. You might have observed that while registration you have provided a lot of data, and that particular data has been stored as your credentials, and that particular will be used as per the specific requirement related to you during this course or during the pursuing of this particular course, or maybe later on at the time of examination and certification. Similarly, many other applications, like when you do online reservation of railway ticket, you see you provide a lot of data. And not only you provide a lot of data is provided to you by that particular agency also. Like the system itself provide you the list of the trains which are available on that particular specific date. Then you choose the kind of seat you need, means the class of the seat, whether it is sleeper, AC or something like that. Similarly, you need to provide some different kind of other data also, like what is your preference of seat, and in addition to that you provide your mobile for further communication. For example, once your reservation is confirmed, you being informed by that particular, you provide your email, you get your e-ticket through email also. So these all things happening in the overall processing of the system. Now you see that how much data transaction or how much data has been generated during your interaction for a simple ticket booking. So in that line, you can think about many different applications in which you are using and you are interacting. You provide different type of data, and those different type of data is either processed for different activities or used for some kind of decision making in your whole application execution. Now, I think there is no need to mention here that we are living in an era where everywhere we see a lot of data is being generated, and every application which we are using is either taking some input or providing some output, and a very huge amount of data is generated. It is very challenging to manage that data. For management of the data, a specific type of concepts and softwares are needed so that data can be properly managed. If I am saying manage means what? If manage means how we can create data, how we can populate the content inside that particular data, and how we can alter the content of that particular data as per the specific requirement. These all things to be done by the computer system, and to do these all things special application or special softwares are needed, and for that purpose different kind of storage mechanism or different kind of data storing is needed. For example, in our normal activities, what we do, whenever we have to store our data, we keep a diary, and in that we keep the so many contacts numbers, maybe the name, and then you are writing the email address or you are writing the mobile number, and as per your need you are maintaining that particular diary. Similarly, in different kind of, let us say in normal office environment, attendance system, for that maybe the different registers are maintained. And as a normal student, whenever we are visiting in our class, we are marked present or absent, and that particular is managed in a register. So that particular management can be seen in terms of the file in the computer system, and those different files are managing different activities. Now, there may be one traditional approach of management of the things, that whenever that particular thing is happening or data is generated, that is sequentially stored and you are having a very sequential arrangement of the storage of the data. But in that sequential storage, if some data is not needed, you have to remove that particular data, and for that you have to do a lot of searching and you have to find out that. And in that, if the same user is visiting again, then it may be you are generating a duplicate data and you are re-entering the whole thing in the another place in the system. So, it means you are unnecessarily managing the thing which is not required, or you are generating the duplicate record and you are wasting the huge amount of memory also while storing that duplicate data. So, these basic problem may be there when we are using the simple traditional approach of the management of the thing. So, how we can move towards one intelligent or one very good properly designed approach which is having very good conceptual understanding and a very good conceptual philosophy is available, or concepts are developed, and using those concepts data can be managed, and that particular is known as database. And to manage such thing is used a software or software system that is known as database management system. Database management system in itself is a very big area in the computer science study or computer science application, and it is having huge potential to develop as an expert in the computer science area and in a specific field of database management itself. It is such a big, and there are courses available from elementary level to the master level and even at the research level also in the database area, because it is such a huge field and it is having such a large potential to manage the things. Nowadays, we listen about data analytics, big data, data mining, so many things. Those all things are developed on the foundation of database. And when I am saying database, once again it will come to the management of the basic data which is generated. But this basic data generated is in such a large volume that managing that particular large volume is very tedious task and very complex task, and it is sometimes very critical task also, because maybe there are a lot of critical data which to be managed. So, a proper secure mechanism is required, and the database management system provide these things. We will discuss little detail about these things in the session in the later part. So, now let me formally define the database. We can see a database as a structure that store the organized information, and that organized information is somewhat related to each other. It means the organized information related to some specific application can be seen as database of that particular application. Lot of example you will find, and just I am reading few example here. University database, if I am talking about the university database, talk about the registration of very large number of students in different program, in different department, in different semesters. Maybe different students are attending the classes of different teachers. So, the timetable management in a specific department, then at the level of the maybe faculty level, or maybe at the level of university level, and many more administrative activities, maybe the examination related activities, assignments, marks submission and updation activities, many more things can be seen. Student registration, validity, result, a lot of data is associated with that system. Similarly, the employee management of the university itself is a very big system, and that particular need a proper management of different data associated with that. Similarly, banking database and inventory database, if there is a specific business organization which is managing different kind of inventories for the purpose of transportation or sale or distribution. So, how actually that particular inventory management will be there, for that database can be. Library management. Similarly, passenger database, as I discussed earlier in this particular session, that if we are talking about railway reservation system, we are having a lot of data associated with that, and that particular is a best example of large database management system or database that is being managed by a specific management system. Customer database for the purpose of online shopping, maybe some general purpose or grocery store is managing its customer information. So for that, product database associated with different company, organization or distribution centers. Similarly, company database associated with different kind of equipments, tools, technologies which are available there, and similarly different kind of resources which are there, how actually those resources will be pooled for different kind of activities. So to manage those all things, different databases is needed for that specific organization. Now one thing more, it is very important to understand that whenever we are talking about database, so for specific application, the specific database will be there as per their own specific need and requirement. Now when we talk about the management of the data in terms of the different kind of file, then we can say that there is a master file that is containing static information of the whole activity of that particular system. For example, if a master file is managed for the employee management system, then whole information related to employees, its dependents and its joining, its profile, its designation, salary, everything may be managed in the master files. Transaction files are the basically intermediate files which are used for the purpose of different transactional activities, and that may be updated on the daily basis or weekly basis. For example, seat information available in the railway reservation system can be seen, that because it is very frequently changing. You are seeing currently that there are n number of seats. After few minutes of time, if you try to see that particular, maybe some other person has booked and the seat status has changed. So that frequent change sometime may be required. Similarly, the stock available during the online shopping. You are trying to purchase, you are exploring the things, but meanwhile if somebody has purchased that particular item, then stock should be updated accordingly, so that not more than one person is ordering the single product. And work file is a temporary file on which the different kind of sorting, merging and other kind of information processing take place, and records are manipulated in that work file, and then that particular is stored. There may be several examinations related to student registration, fee management and different kind of examination related activities, result processing and then publishing a final result. So these all things need some intermediate processing, and that can be done in the work file. And many more example we can think about, and you can take it as an exercise. You try to find out that several activities related to, or several example related to these three different kind of files. Now as I discussed, database is somewhat logical related data is available and that is being organized and managed. Now for that management we need a system, and that system is known as database management system. So database management system is a collection of program which enable a user to create and manipulate a database. Now if you are having very simple application, in that you need to store only few data, for that a simple file system or traditional file system may work. But if you are having little complex system or much more complex system, for that you need database, and for managing your database you need a database management system. And database management system is a application software that provide us facility to create our own database. There are several database available, and here few name I will mention: MySQL, Oracle, SQL Server, MS Access, and then for the mobile applications or smartphone applications, SQLite, Oracle Lite, IBM DB to every place. These are the few databases which are very frequently used for the development of different applications, but list is very large. There are much more number of database available, and they are used as per the suitability and requirement of the specific application development by different organizations. Now if we talk about the management system of the database, or that is the database management system, then that particular we can visualize as a suite of application program that manage large number of data and different kind of querying facilities on that particular data to the specific user. Querying facility means If you are having a database in that you need information related to a specific user, then you are able to provide some input, and on the basis of that searching is performed and the information related to a specific user is available. Similarly, maybe if you need that how many users are using that particular application and accessing that particular application frequently, if you need that particular information, that also should be able to provided by the database management system. And once again I take the example of this course itself. In this course you have registered and you have provided your data. So your accessibility of this course, how many times you have registered in this course, which video you have seen, up to what level you have seen that particular video, and what is your frequency of visit of this particular course, whether you have attempted the quizzes of this particular course or not. These all things can be managed with the help of database management system, and on the reply of a specific query, answer to the specific user may be obtained by the administrator or the course instructor as per specific requirement. Similarly, in banking system, if you take, once you are doing your transaction, you are either asking for a specific query that what is the account balance, so that should be provided to you with the help of that database management system. Similarly, if a new user is opening its own account, there should be provision to create the new user and provide facility to that particular user. If you are trying to make transaction and your account is not having sufficient balance, the database management system should be able to provide you appropriate message on that you are not having balance. So many more things you can see. Similarly, online shopping, until unless you are completing your whole process, one specific transaction will not be completed. For example, you have selected the item and then you are going for the processing, you have selected the address where the delivery should be there, then you are trying to make the payment and you have not made the payment, then your whole activity will be aborted and it is not recorded in the system. So these all are the different type of activities which are performed by the database and provide services as per the specific need. Now let me see the advantages of the database management system. In terms of advantages, the very first advantage is that it reduces the redundancy. It means duplicate data is not stored in the database and provision is made in such a way that the duplicate entry will not be permitted, and that happens with the help of certain criteria applied in the database, and that criteria is known as primary key. Primary key is basically a unique key. That particular key helps to identify individual record in the system, and each and every record will be having their own unique identification. For this, we will be discussing little detail in the next session or next video. We will be discussing about keys and constraints in little more detail. But for the time being, we have to understand that primary key is a provision through which we can uniquely identify each record in the system. Now, a few examples we have to take about the primary key. We can take as a student, either we are having our enrollment number or roll number as a primary key, and that particular identify each and every student uniquely. Similarly, if we talk about the banking system, in a specific bank, every customer will be having their own unique account number. Similarly, in railway reservation system, each and every ticket which is generated will be having unique passenger name registration, that is the PNR number. And similarly, in business system, or if you are going for doing a kind of online shopping or something, so every user registered with that particular shopping platform will be having their own unique customer ID. So every user or every record is having its own unique identification in the system. On the basis of that, duplicacy is avoided, and that help us to save from duplication and unnecessary effort to put the duplicate data and save a lot of memory. Next advantage, we can see that it provides privacy and security. If database is created, in that database we are having different kind of data available, and different kind of data is required for different kind of purposes. One example here we can take in the university system. Once a student is registering in the system, the student is provided access to very specific data of the university only. They are not provided access to some critical data like examination related data or the fee processing data or some other data which is not required to them. So, role of individual user in the system is well defined, and as per that particular specific role, individual user is provided access to different part of data. Maybe the whole data of one particular section is totally available to the individual user, or it may be the some partial data is provided to the user as per their specific requirement. Now, data sharing is the next advantage, and that particular advantage lead us to share the data among different users of the system. Again, you take this particular example. If this particular whole system is, let us say, being managed with the help of a database management system. So, in that particular system, whatever data is provided to you as a specific user, maybe same data is being shared by different user with the help of the provision of data management. Similarly, in the railway reservation system also, you are seeing the same data, the seat availability, maybe some other person is also seeing in the same train, same date, and in the same type of reservation, the seat availability is shown to that particular user also. So, it's all depend on which data to be shown to whom and how actually that to be updated is also a basic requirement of the system. For example, if the reservation has happened for a specific seat, it should be managed in such a way that no second user will try to reserve the same seat, or same seat should not be reserved to two users. So, some complexity come in the system, and that particular is managed. For example, the concurrency is a term which is used. Concurrency says that at the same place two people are performing the same operation. Then how actually that particular will be managed? For example, two people are trying to book the same seat, then there some kind of mechanism will be developed, or mechanism is made or provisioned so that only one user book that particular seat and another user is not booking the seat. And many more example of that particular type can be seen. For example, when you are trying to withdraw the money from your bank, and due to some reason your ATM machine could not perform the whole operation, then whole operation should be reverted back and the status of the database should be managed. So, as I discussed, consistency is one of the advantage of the database system, and I have already discussed about several examples, but once again I repeat here, few more example can be seen here, that how actually the consistency help. For example, if a student has paid the fees, the same information should be available to the library, to other people who are going to provide different kind of services on the fee basis of the decision whether fee is paid or not. And similarly, for the reservation purpose, you have done all the activities. Until unless payment is made, your ticket will not be booked, and your ticket will be confirmed only once your payment process is complete. So, this whole thing should be combined together, and all those different activities which make the system in consistent state can be seen as a transaction. You start the process, you do some activities, and you complete that activities. Once the activity is completed, it is a transaction. If activity is not completed, then whole process of this transaction should be aborted. That is known as returning back from that particular transaction or rollback of the transaction. So, either a transaction is committed or it is rolled back. And maintaining data integrity, this is one of the most important advantage of the database management system. It provides integrity of the database, and that particular is done with the help of certain conditions or criteria which is applied on the processing of the system and provide the database in a consistent stage. And data integrity is also advantage of the database management system, because there are large number of users who are having access to database together, so that it is very essential for the database system to provide consistent and accurate information to all the user every time or every moment of the time. The best example of this particular again can be taken from the railway reservation system. Once seat availability is shown to a specific user, that should be the seat availability of that moment of the time, so that once the user is performing the operation or booking the seat, it is not having false information, and on the basis of that unnecessary processing is to be avoided. And as far as database is concerned, database generally we can visualize in the form of tables. There are multiple tables keeping multiple related information, and combination of all those tables are making us a simple database. So tabular form is the most common form which is used for the storing the data, and once we store the data in the tabular form, it is easy to manage. Now if we are storing the data into tabular form, then we have to consider few things. For example, some basic terminologies are used, and those basic terminologies are attribute, records are tuples, relations, keys and constraints. So as far as attribute is concerned, so whenever we are making a database table, again if we take a simple example of employee table, let us say, in that employee table we will be having different fields associated with that particular employee. For example, the ID of the employee that can be used for the unique identification of that specific employee, name of the employee, age, department, address, many more fields may be there, but as per the specific requirement of the database system on which you are going to perform the operation or process, you will decide that what will be the field of your table. So if we take these 5 fields, the employee ID, name, age, department, address, then these all fields are represented in the form of column in the table, and that each column represent one attribute, and each row represent one record, and that particular is also known as tuple. So attribute and tuple, attribute is the column and tuple is the row. So by representing one specific column in the table, we can say one attribute of all the rows or all the records stored in the table is available. For example, if we need employee ID of all the employees, then we have to see only one column, that is employee ID or one attribute of the employee table. Similarly, if I need all the information related to one specific employee whose employee ID is 1100, then I will see that particular row in which employee ID is 1100, and similarly we will see that. For example, here you can see the employee ID 1100, name of the employee is Suresh, age is 40, work in the library department, and address is A3, Delhi. Similarly, each and every individual employee who are stored in this particular database table will be available, and on the specific employee we can perform the operation as per our specific need. We can add employee, we can delete employee, we can modify employee, we can do several operations as provided by the database management system to work on our own database. Similarly, many more tables will be there in your database. If you are going to manage a specific department only, then you will be having department database. In that may be the different activity related to that department. So maybe some activity table you will create. In that activity table, different employee may take their role or participate in that. So in that way you are performing the different operations associated with the database, and you are performing those operations in different tables. So relation basically talks about the relation in one specific table itself. Also it may talk about that you are having relation between different tables available in a database. And as far as the key constraints or different criteria or rules regulations are concerned through which your database should be governed, that also play a vital role or very important role in your database management. And one example, as I mentioned, that the primary key is used for the purpose of unique identification for the individual record. Similarly, if you are having primary key, then definitely it will not be wise to leave that particular field null. So not null also will be a condition. Once you are creating this particular table with the help of the different attributes, then you have to apply different criteria. For example, if you are creating this employee table, in that employee ID you will be defining or you will be providing some kind of indications or instructions that this is a primary key. Similarly, at the same time you will be indicating that this primary key will be not null. It means you cannot leave blank that particular at the time of populating the data in that particular table. And one more thing here I mention before I conclude this session, that database system is managed with the help of expert, and that expert decide the different kind of users which are having their accounts in the database system and their role, and on the basis of that access of the content is provided to those different users. So with this basic knowledge, in next session we will be discussing little more about the database. So thank you for being with me in this session.